Peekaboo! Oh! Hey, what's going on, guys? Let me actually bring this down a little bit. Here we go. Hey! Oh, yeah. Alright. Let's make some... everything's kind of adjusted well enough, I guess. Hey! How's it going, guys? Welcome to this Friday afternoon. Very exciting live build here of the brand new Real Grade. You guys can all see me, hear me, smell me, and let's leave it at that. Wafting some scent to you. Let's see. Saying hello to Mafia is here. What's going on? Brandon, Digital Fanboy, Thomas. What's going on, guys? Tran. Megalanica. Megalanica. Yeah, I think that's right? Megalanica. Hi. Saku-chan, hello. Jui, you were hanging out on the live stream last night, right? Over on Brian's channel? I was hanging out last night with Brian over on his live stream, Bro Builder, the Kodokai live stream. I've joined them a couple of times now, so it's a good time to hang out every Thursday night. If you guys want to actually see me, I mean, depending on where you are in the world, if you're like in the US, especially on Eastern time zone, if you want to see me in the evening and not in the afternoon, I have lately a couple times been joining Brian over on that live stream, just kind of hanging out and chatting. I feel like it was a majority, maybe not a majority, but definitely for a good chunk of the live stream last night, we were just talking about like early 2000s bands that we were into. But Andrew is glad he made it to a live stream. Hey, what's going on, Andrew? Box size for the Epyon, it's the standard RG box size, the smaller size, not the bigger one. So I mean, here, as you can see, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of surprised, actually, to be honest. I was kind of expecting it to be in the larger box size. I mean, because it does have like the wings, and I mean, like the new was in the larger box size, and I imagine it's sort of similar. I know like this Gundam in terms of like head height will not be as tall as the new, but I don't know. The new Gundam, I think in that case, it didn't really need the larger box. Bandai just wanted to put it in the larger box just to get that nice big box art on the store shelves, you know. Anyway, let's see other questions. Joey said hi from Singapore. Anyway, so hey, where's everybody else watching from? Saris watching over there on Twitch. I enjoy your content you create. Thank you. Keep it up. Yes, I'm doing my best to keep it up. Don't think too long about that. What is the first live build? Oh, sorry, not what, this. Patrick said, this is the first live build I've managed to watch in months. I'm excited for this one. Got my RG Epyon waiting for me at home. Awesome. Late here in the Philippines. When is it for sale? We have not yet. To be very clear, we've not received this like here at USA Gundam Store. We've not received this yet. I just got mine like shipped directly over from Japan, like just for me to review and share with you guys, but like our like actual shipment like for USA Gundam Store has not arrived yet. Watching in San Diego. Well, yeah, where's everybody else watching from? Let me know. It's always kind of interesting to know, because I always assume that most people watch like from around in the US generally, but I know there's probably at least a handful of people watching from other countries. Hollywood, Florida. Interesting. Alex is on Twitch there as well. I'm catching you live more often. Yeah, Kisum. Europe. Saku-chan's in Europe. Texas, Germany, San Diego too. Kentucky. All right. Or let's see, I feel like I missed someone. Germany there. Yeah. Ohio. So that means it's all different times of day for some people. Hope you and your family are doing well. P.S. Can't wait for a review of Mamro. Yeah. That is, I think that kit's not even out until like November though. So we still have a little bit of a ways to wait for that. But Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So, big city of Pryor, Oklahoma. Can't say that I know that one. Watching from the other side of the earth. How? Watching from Italy. All right. So yeah, really all over. So in typical RG style, we start with the legs first. So I'm just gonna go with that. I kind of am tempted to build the kit, like just building all the inner frame, because it seems like it's gonna have a pretty nice inner frame on it. And it's a shame that there's actually no photos. I don't think so. No photos in the manual or even on the box or anything that just show it just as the frame. It's unfortunate. There's not, right? No. But yeah, would have been cool. So I think maybe later I will take it apart and then put it back together just as the frame so I can kind of see what that all looks like. But for now, let's just build this foot, so then we can build the leg, and then we can build the other leg. And then we can build the, after that I think would be the waist, I believe. But anyway, the frame does seem pretty nice. I can tell you guys just from so far, I'm just like getting all the parts prepped and everything. Seems like it's a pretty complex kit. I mean, I know that's not too unusual for a real grade kit, but it does feel like there's a lot of quite like intricate parts and things like that for this one. It does have to do the transformation as well, so that does kind of make sense. The sort of like it's a transformation, I guess, but it's not like anything quite to the level of like the Zeta Gundam or something, for example, which most of you guys would probably be happy to know. But pretty cool detail, like here even on the feet. Let me just show you guys in just a second. I'm not gonna do the transformation during this live stream, by the way. I will of course show it in the review, but here on the feet, on the underside of the foot, I've already seen a face that I can't unsee, so that's nice right there. Oh, can't get this like focused how I want it. It's also kind of dark, isn't it? That's not what I want. Come on. Yes. Thank you, D. All right. Do you want to close this? Sure. Yeah. Thanks. What's up, Chris? Some coffee delivery over here. Much appreciated and much needed. The eyepiece is so clean. Yeah, there's a lot of really really sharp details on this. Thoughts on the new C designs? Love it, hate it, meh. Patrick, right now I'm kind of mostly meh. Although I have a feeling that they're the kind of kits that once I build them, I'll probably appreciate the designs a lot more. First impression of a lot of them generally is, for me, is not that exciting. Especially in particular, like the main two Gundams, like the new Freedom and Justice. But good. Some of the other ones, especially the Black Knights, the Mandalorian looking ones, those look pretty cool. It seems like there's a good amount of hype for those two. I think just based off of like the little trailer video that they put out. But how can I get this on here? Oh, I'm trying to put this in the wrong spot. The little clear green part for the eyes in the feet. Yes, eyes in the feet. That's right. So, got this for that. The Gelgoog looks cool. Yeah, the Gelgoog was the one, like, on first impression, the Gelgoog was the one that I was kind of most interested in, that I thought looked the most probably appealing to me. But I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll probably quite like the Black Knights kits. So they look quite unique. The Gelgu, yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna like it, but it does still, even though it's a new kit, it's kind of funny that even though they're all like new kits, they all still very much look like HG seed kits, and I don't mean that in a good way, because HG seed kits are not the best looking line of seed kits, in my opinion, and so a lot of them, like the revived versions, are great. Of like the there's the Freedom, Impulse. What else was there? Anyway, the couple of seed kits that did get a sort of like revive treatment a few years back, HG, looks so much better than like the original HG line. So, kind of makes sense that they would want to make these so that they do kind of look uniform with the existing HG kits of the line. But I kind of would have preferred a little bit more kind of update to the design and proportions and stuff. And I think you see that a little bit more with the Knight designs, more so than some of the others, maybe. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is Annie. Is the property on P54?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, what can I say? All right. Let's see. The green hits are amazing. I mean, like the green hints, like in the Knight design, right? Where's this go? Oh, like that. Okay. Yeah, quite the interesting construction here for the legs. I mean, obviously, because of the way that the legs are, because of the way that the legs are for the this Epyon. Yeah, it's a quite unique build. It's unfortunate that I've not built the master grade, because I feel like that would be, worthwhile experience in order to be able to kind of compare how the build goes and everything. But unfortunately, I was not able to build one before this kit came out. I thought about it. I was thinking about trying to get my hands on one so that I could build it ahead of time and have that experience under my belt so I could kind of compare them a bit more, but I've not yet, and so that's fine. Adam said he has one built at home, and so I'm going to try to remember to remind him over the weekend to bring that so that I can compare it for you guys in the review if possible. This does have the two-tone colors in like typical RG style, not in the white because there's so little white on the design anyway. It's basically just on like the thighs and like a little bit on the chest. That said, there is actually two-tone white. I should take that back. Even though there's so little white on the design, the like off-white that's used in the legs is different from on the accent on the face and on the chest is like pure white, and in the legs it's like an off-white. So there is a little bit difference there. But for the main like dark red maroonish color, there is also two-tone colors going on. Okay, this is not a spam call, and it is actually a friend of mine, so I'm gonna mute you guys here just for a second. Okie dokie. Can you hear me now, right? Could you also hear my call or no? I don't know. Okay. This is one of those, a lot of times, as you guys have maybe seen, and if you do sometimes catch the live streams, a lot of times it's pretty easy for me to, like, I'll build one leg and it takes, however long it takes. And then building the second leg takes about like half the time or less, because I can do like most of it from memory. With RG kits and sometimes master grade kits too, kind of depending on the kit, it's not always quite that easy. And sometimes this second arm or leg, whatever, does take like not the same amount of time, but it's not always as quick. I cannot seem to get this part in here correctly. And it's kind of like why is it like that? Kind of like bending this, like there's like these little tabs on the inside of here that this needs to be pushed onto there. And I'm like looking at it and I'm certain that I'm putting it on there correctly, but is that like it's not like it's an undergate that's in the way, which I should mention to you guys that a lot of this kit is undergated, the armor especially. So that means that it doesn't necessarily mean that Bandai is going to release like a plated version or something like that at some point in the future, but they're leaving that option available to them. So it's very possible that we'll get some probably like a Gundam base exclusive version, which is like a plated version or something like that probably. And so just like for future reference, the kit is almost entirely, all the armor anyway, is undergated. So good to know if you guys are looking forward to possibly getting a coated version in the future, if and when that comes out from Bandai. So let's see. I do need to put this little fin on here first. But okay. Oh. Like this. That's... Oops, wrong side. Anyway, let me get back to paying attention to the chat a little bit. Like I said, for the like arms and legs, doing the first one requires a bit more attention, and I can kind of like zone out and talk to the chat more usually for like the second one. Especially with this one, like I said, it's very different construction, so I want to make sure that I'm not messing anything up. And okay, yeah, there we go. They've done plated MGs for it, so that wouldn't be surprising. Yeah, and let's see, it's a tough build, I will admit. I mean, there's nothing like, at least so far, like challenging about it. It's just very unique because it's such a kind of different design. Camper MG could use an update, but just sucks that they're not releasing the Camper Amazing MG after Japan made a huge hissy fit over the... What was the hissy fit over the MG build Mark II? I mean, I know that it was like not that well received. I don't think it sold very well either. How long do you guys think we've been waiting on... How long do you guys think we'd be waiting on the back order from HLJ? Are you talking about like back ordering this kit? No idea. Could not answer that. But I just want to make sure that I have the inside. Okay, yeah, that's right. It's kind of interesting how here on the leg, I'll show you. here at the ankle armor is plugged onto a ball joint here at the back. That's where it's connected on the foot there. And on the side is where you have this fin sticking off the side. But this ankle armor piece is made symmetrical, so it's the same for the left and the right side. And you just plug that fin on either the left or the right side, depending on which leg you're building. And so it's kind of interesting that they don't have a piece to go in and fill that gap on like the side where you don't put the fin on there. So like on the right leg, for example, you would put a piece in here to fill that hole. So you just kind of have this sort of awkward looking hole, to be honest. Kind of weird why they didn't make a piece for that. But okay. Anyway, it's looking pretty cool so far. Let's see. Anyone else think this could get a Sterndrug expansion set? That's the expansion set that's coming out for or the MG, right? It's very possible they could do the same thing for the RG as well. Yeah, sure. The scaly, spiky trims and small parts. Oh, not having my best tools and building while fatigue didn't help. Yeah, there is a lot of parts that I will say you're probably going to want to be very careful with, because there's like a lot of quite like delicate parts, and not so much here in the leg really. So I will point it out once we get to it. More so, but like for example, this one right here. Let me show you guys. This is for the chest armor. So when you have parts where like you have like really thin connections between different areas, and this is like a quite large part, but some of the parts, like areas where it's connected, it gets really thin like that. There's another one. Would be another one like here for the shoulder. For example, this part for the shoulder, this part like over here on the side, it's kind of like just connected via this little bridge of plastic kind of right there in between. So there's some of those parts, and then especially on the wings, yeah, I mean like you have these parts where there's like a lot of very thin sections of this. So you just need to be a little bit careful with it. If you like bend this at all, it's gonna very easily stress the plastic. Maybe not necessarily break unless you get pretty intense with it, but if you accidentally were to bend it or something like that, it will make some stress mark in that dark colored plastic pretty easily. So there's our one leg. Let's do the other leg, shall we? What do you think? This is why we like Acrylius more than the Heartless. Okay. Why? I don't know. Thank you, I guess. But, I mean, I don't know. Japan made the hissy fit over the build Mark II for how much of that kit was recycled and some other stuff, which resulted in a mass delayed release of other build fighters kits in MG. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, sure. Makes sense. Taking a break while paint dries on my current build. What are you painting? Yeah, the build Mark II MG, as far as I know, yeah, I don't think that it sold very well. I don't think that it was like particularly well received. And I mean, it makes sense that part of the reason is because of the fact that there was so much of it that was recycled. But I mean, like, obviously, it was going to be a lot of parts recycled. I mean, if you just look at the design, I don't think that really should have been too much of a surprise for people. I mean, like, was there like, I would have to look closely at the kit and the design to know, but like, was there aspects of the Mark II, like was there aspect of like the build Mark II, as in like the build fighters version, that were not designed into the model kit because they just reused parts from the Mark II, as in like parts that should have been new parts but weren't? Was there anything like that? Painting the RG Sinanju. Yeah. It was a fun kit to paint. I mean, like, it's not the best kit, but I mean, it definitely is one that you guys know that I think has an undeserved reputation as well. How should I say this? It doesn't deserve to have a reputation as bad as it has. Yes, it's not the best kit. It's not the best RG kit, certainly. But it's not absolute trash either, as like some people would have you believe. Where's the piece for the top of the foot? Oh, yeah. And this one here. Epyon. Warmed shelves off the bat in Hong Kong, from what I've heard. Was that mean that like it's not selling well? I don't know. I feel like any like when it comes to like MGs and RGs, just from like what I know from like working here at USA Gundam Store, I'm just like, you know, I'm not working like too much like within the warehouse and within the store, and like I don't like know all the details of like how sales are going for any particular item. Like I can know if I'm curious, like I can talk to Adam about it, but just like based on what I know from my experience, like pretty much anything new RG or MG, no matter what it is gonna sell well. Bandai's got a pretty good lock on things are gonna be popular. My kits are gonna be popular no matter what it is. That's the same thing like with the MG narrative Gundam as well. I've seen some people like commenting about it online, saying like, "Oh, nobody asked for this. Like, why is Bandai making this?" Essentially, like, why not make something that would be more popular, or why not make X kit, whatever in particular that I want? But I mean, even if there's some people that do have that sentiment about whatever new kit, it's still gonna sell well regardless. So Bandai's, it's not like Bandai's going to regret making the MG narrative Gundam by any means. So, and the same thing, I mean, not only that, but the same thing goes with anything like this kit or any other whatever MG or new MG or RG kits. HG kits possibly, like if an HG kit kind of flops, I think that's maybe something that Bandai's maybe gonna feel a bit more than MGs. MGs and real grades are pretty much guaranteed to sell well. I feel like I'm going through the construction of this leg a little bit quickly, and I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm gonna get to having like being like halfway through the leg and then realize that I'm missing a piece or something. But we'll see. I will say it's a fun build just for its uniqueness, for sure. At this point so far, I can't say necessarily if I like it as much as I enjoyed putting together the Full Mechanics Forbidden Gundam. I think it's just also a little bit due to the size. That when you have like a quite unique build design, it's a bit more comfortable when it's a large. Okay, the camera froze. Okay, sorry. It's a bit more comfortable when the when the size is larger. Uh-oh, don't want to do that. I want to do this. Yeah, I'm just gonna switch cameras here for a minute. While you can just do that while I finish up this leg here, and then we'll get back to it. But yeah, when you're building like a very unique and different design, such as this or such as like the Forbidden Gundam, there was a lot of really unique aspects to the construction of that Gundam as well. And I think it's just like more comfortable when doing it in the larger scale. In this, especially for someone like me, I don't know, maybe it depends on the person, but with these large hands, it's a bit more tricky to mess around with these really teeny tiny pieces. But so far, so good. And with this last piece here, just for the hip connection. Hi, Zach. Finally got to catch you. Let's see, error size. Finally got to catch you on a live stream. Been watching your old ones at work. It's pretty chill. Ah, good. Thank you. Yeah, glad you can see it live. But yeah, I mean, of course, you can always watch it on the playback too. If for whatever reason you're not able to catch it live at some point. But okay, there's our two legs. Okay. Very nice. Oh, you guys can't see that. All right. So let me get let me attempt to. If I can, should be working. Get the camera back on here for you guys. Have you traveled around Florida since you moved here? Not that much, really. Mostly just like, so from where we are in, in like Daytona and why the fuck? In Volusia County, where we are. We don't live in Daytona, but we live in Volusia County. My family, I mean. And we've basically traveled like west, like towards Orlando and the villages. I have an aunt and uncle that live in the villages. Like we've been in and around that area, and then like north up like to like St. Augustine, and then like a little bit south, but like not any further south than like New Smyrna. Oh, we've been to like the Kennedy Space Center, which is a little bit further south, but like that's pretty much kind of about it, really. I live in Tampa. You should check the city out. I should probably visit Tampa because I have a friend that lives in Fort Lauderdale, which is near there, right? Let's see. Here we go. There we go. A friend that lives nearby there in Fort Lauderdale, and I think like, and it's like a childhood friend of mine, and so like I know all of his family and everything, and his family also lives in around the Tampa area, I believe. Some other of his family. We're from Illinois, but like basically like almost all of his family is all like moved down here now. Is it just me, or are the new C designs really meh? As Lo said, that was, like I said before when we were talking about this, that was kind of my feeling at first as well. But I always like to, I mean, like there's some designs that I just know that I'm just not going to be into, but I do try to hold off judgment, as much as I can until I've actually built the kit. If I think that I want to give the kit a try, like I said, there's sometimes where like I just know that I have zero interest in building the kit, so I'm not even going to build it. But for that, for those, I'm not sure if I'm going to build all of them, but at least for a few of them, I do want to at least check them out, give them a try, and we'll see how I feel. All right, yeah, the waist section so far, just like the frame of it here, is also quite unique. All right, there's this one here, and that's not right. So a lot of sections, I guess not this one in particular, but there's been a number of sections just in the build so far, like where the joint needs to like lock. So like the peg has a little tab on it, so like it only will fit in one particular way, and then like you turn it to lock it into place. So that's kind of cool. That usually works pretty well. It's usually kind of a nicer aspect of the designs. I picked up a Shezram DS for the Geyer binders, but the base Rick DS has Stockholm Syndrome me into liking it. It's so goofy looking. Yeah, Chris, that's interesting. I did the same. I bought it basically just for the binders when I made the Shars DJ model kit. I still have the Rick DS base kit from that. I've not done anything with it. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, kind of interesting how the back skirt is like two. It's like one solid back skirt piece, but it's two halves that kind of click together for the transformation. But I actually was not supposed to click those together quite yet. Supposed to put this on here first. Okay, nice to hear that. Very satisfying click. And then close that, and then whoop. Put this part on here, right? Yeah. Love to hear that click. All right, so these guys. Very nice detail here with the skirt sections too, with the inner and outer pieces, the inner frame piece and the outer armor pieces that go together, and like you can see the frame through the armor in the front and vice versa. Well, like the connection pegs for the armor are going through the skirt section, going through the frame section to add some nice detail. I don't know if I'm just like tired or what. I think I'm just gonna give up trying to speak for the rest of the stream because like I don't know. It's not really working out for me today. Alright. Do have these side skirt sections, and then what's next? The chest unit next. That's good. You can pop the legs into here. Ew, watch out for those knee fins. All right, let's see. What else is going on with you guys? Anyone here? Let's see. I love the character arc coming back at the new location. Hawaii is a breath of fresh air. Oh, you guys talking about the Build Metaverse series? The first episode's out. I haven't watched it. Hello, guys. Hey, there's Justin. Hey, guys, and Zaku. So, have you guys seen the new Build anime? Yes, that's what you guys are talking about. Anyone here ever attempted to use Kshatriya binders on another kit? I'm wanting to use them for a custom. They're difficult to get onto other kits. Yeah, I feel like, Brandon, to answer your question, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of different ways that you could go about doing it. Probably what would be the easiest would be to use the part that the binders plug into, which is like kind of like the shoulder armor essentially of the Kshatriya, the part that like sits on the top of the arms that the binders plug into. Probably just to use that section would probably be a good idea if you can, like depending on how you want to use it. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I can understand if you're just trying to just plug the like binder arm into like something else, it would be challenging. Yeah, you would have to probably end up like scratch building something. As a neat first episode so far. Need more before passing judgment on it. Yeah, I'll try to see maybe over the weekend. I'll try to just carve out whatever. It's probably like what, 22 minutes or something like that, just to check out the new series. So there, our lower body is done. I need to kind of get everything all lined up because it has so many different kind of moving sections: the front of the foot, the back of the foot, the ankle armor, the like leg, like mid leg can be kind of turned. I feel like it's one of those kits that when you're trying to get it posed, it's going to take a few minutes just to get everything like lined up how it's supposed to be. But worth the effort anyway in the end. So all right, for the torso, let's see what we got. Is it that piece? It is that piece and this piece. Kind of like, is that right? Yeah, okay. Didn't look symmetrical at first. And what is that? It's a whole separate thing, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay. Okay. Very interesting. All right. I hope they do an updated RG Wing Zero custom. Really? Lorenz, why? It's like that kit's, what's wrong with it? It's only like a couple years old. I don't know, what would they possibly update on it? RG Wing Zero custom? That's an odd one, I have to admit. Alright, let's see. We got that little guy here, and what goes in here first? This one, which would be not that one. This one, right? Nope. This one, right? Yes. Okay. That in there. And then this part. And it should look like, not that. Like that. Okay. Interesting. That's gonna go here. No. Like that. Okay. Yeah, very interesting. Quite the unique construction here for this, I will say. I feel like I say that a lot, like on these live streams, but I think it's more so that it's not that like every single kit that Bandai is making that I'm live building is, it's not like I'm just saying like, oh, that's a really unique construction for everything. I think it's more so the fact that just the kits that I choose to live build, I think I kind of, maybe more so than I'm really paying that much attention to, but I'm choosing the ones that will be particularly interesting to see. Like if it was, I don't know, like for example, the MG, I have over here, one of the builds that I'm going to be putting together next is the MG Age 1 full Glanza. Probably won't live build that just because the base kit is the MG Age 1, which has been out for a long time, and like, I don't know, actually I am kind of tempted to live build that, but it's not something necessarily very like new or unique. Or like for example the gym, like the P Bandai gym kit that I just recently reviewed, I didn't live build that just because like it's just going to be very similar to like very similar to like pretty much any like HG Origin kit, especially like the gym and the ARC 782 and everything. So I try to choose builds for live streams that I think will A, be popular, that you guys will want to see, and then B, also be like interesting builds, like something unique amongst the building process. And I don't always know ahead of time how unique a build is going to be. Like I can have a good idea, can make an educated guess. It just based on my experience, but don't always know for sure. And I have to say a huge thank you. I didn't want to kind of lose my train of thought, but Datamouth, thank you for the super chat there. Really very thankful. Really appreciate it. Said, love your content, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, very much appreciated. Very helpful. Okay. So there's our frame for the most part. There's still like the neck kind of frame, but we'll get to that in a moment, I guess. We have these parts, which the lower parts need to go on here first. Right here. With this being an RG, there are like the little like metallic stickers that go around on like little bits of the frame to add like small bits of detail onto the frame. I shouldn't say add the detail, because like the detail's there, but I mean they give you like these like bright little chrome accents like on the frame. I'm not using them in this case. I usually don't, but just, you know, just for you guys' reference, as usual, it does have those, being an RG kit. Kind of feel like maybe I should put the sticker underneath this clear part though. Just so that's nice and bright and shiny. Okay, I will. If I can get that clear part back out without losing it. And get my tweezers here. See how big of a difference that makes. I'm sure it's going to be a pretty good difference. Having that metallic, super shiny sticker underneath the clear part. Yeah, it makes it much brighter. So I'll make sure that that's in all the way there too. Okay. Let's see. What do you normally watch or listen to while building when not live streaming? I usually watch your past live streams. That's cool, Andrew. Thank you. Just wanna. It's a kind of interesting one, James. I just want a 50-episode Gundam show that isn't about high school. Yeah, kind of relate. Andrew, to your question about what do I normally watch, more often than not, it's usually like just stuff on YouTube. Not anything Gundam related, really, ever. Kind of, basically, very rarely. But let's see what. I think a lot of news stuff, really, to be very boring. Maybe, I don't know. But a lot of just news. I had been recently like on a kick of like watching a lot of People's Court, or I mean, like it's not so much watching, you know, just like having it on in the background, but like People's Court on YouTube, having that on a lot, and kind of getting a little bit burnt out on that. But what else? Also, like just kind of old movies and stuff. Not always necessarily old, but it's kind of like B movies, and not always like exclusively B movies, but I don't know. Yeah, movie kind of stuff sometimes too. So yeah, just kind of depends. Sometimes music, more often than not, it's like video content. It's not too often that I will have just like strictly music playing. A lot of times it will have like music as in like live shows. I'll put on like a video of like a live concert, and I'll have that on. But usually not just music. Usually like kind of the only time I'm ever doing like strictly music, it'd be like if I'm in the car driving, because it's not safe to have video on when you're driving. Although I will say I sometimes do have it where I'll just have the video playing. Again, it's like kind of news kind of stuff like that, where I'll have the video playing and I won't like be watching it though. It's the kind of videos that I don't need to watch that I can just listen to. So like I'll just play it and then just like put my phone down and not look at it while I'm driving. I promise. But there's our torso. Okay, yeah, quite interesting. I do not like the fact that the peg for connecting the top and bottom half of the body is kind of short. It either should be longer or it should also have like a locking mechanism. It doesn't. So I feel like this is gonna very easily come off, like come unattached, the top and bottom half of the body. It's like tight enough, but it should either have like a locking peg where you have to like put it on backwards and then turn it 180 degrees to lock it into place, or the peg should be a little bit more substantial in some way. Yeah, just like a small concern about that, but an observation for you guys. But so far, I mean, like the detail, I mean, everything, it looks great, so no issues there. Favorite horror movie? I'm not that big of a horror fan, to be honest, Mr. Bobobo. Favorite horror movie? I mean, I think most people would agree that Alien qualifies as a horror movie. Although, like for me, I definitely think of it much more of as just a science fiction movie. But I guess like it's like sci-fi horror, sort of like a genre, I guess. Any like horror that I like would like 9 out of 10 times. If I like a horror movie, it's a sci-fi horror movie. So like Event Horizon, Alien, stuff like that. Like maybe not like the best example, but something that just comes to mind thinking of science fiction horror movies that I do like Pandorum is another one. One of those that's like not the most well received movie, quite kind of mixed reviews. I think it's got a bit more of a cult following, like kind of after release, but it wasn't a very successful movie. But I quite liked Pandorum. It's pretty good, kind of interesting premise and everything. But yeah, stuff like that. Just like straight horror, like Halloween, and I don't know, any kind of like slasher horror kind of stuff like that, or even like The Ring, whatever kind of. I don't know. I can't even like think of any other like better examples. But yeah, I'm not really into that. Not for any particular reason. I don't know. It's just not to my taste, really. I guess I don't know. Now it's a cult classic. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I like it. It's got an interesting twist. I'll just say that. I feel like there's some movies where like without the twist, it's like a bit of a dull movie, and the only reason it's interesting is because of the twist. But it's not necessarily one of those. It's one of those where it's like it's a pretty interesting movie all throughout, and then the twist just kind of makes it that much better. What's your favorite Gundam show? It would be either Turn A, 8th MS Team, or Unicorn are my kind of top three. I would have a hard time narrowing it down to just one. If I had to choose between just one of those, it would be a very tough decision for me. So I usually just give those three options there. Okay. Let's see. Hey, random question. The next Hobby Next phase is where the Zeta Verka was announced, with the narrative Verka being announced not at a specific event. Do you anticipate a second Verka? No, they're not going to have two Verkas coming out at the same time. I mean, I think they did have that with like the Thunderbolt Gundam and the Psycho Zaku, but that was like a pretty unique. I would not expect them to announce another Verka like anytime before the release of the narrative Verka. No. They could announce like a non-Verka MG. That's possible, but yeah, another Verka I would say highly unlikely. But as it goes with Bandai, I mean, you never know. It's one thing that I can tell you that, you know, kind of once you've been like kind of in this hobby for, you know, a good amount of years, you kind of figure out over time that there's really just no way to predict what Bandai's gonna do, and it's a bit of a fool's errand to even try to like have any sort of prediction or expectations about what Bandai's gonna do when, because there's just no way to know. So I mean, it's fun to like make guesses and make predictions, or like you know, have things that you would like to see coming out, but their narrative Verka is a perfect example of that. I don't think anybody was expecting that. It's very much out of nowhere. Well, nobody was expecting it, that is, of course, before the leak, because it was leaked like a few weeks ahead of time. So some people did kind of know about it at that time. Where's this piece that I need? It's a G. It's a dark gray piece, which should be here. I have a feeling that it escaped into somewhere else. What does it look like? That one. Okay. Hang on. Have a piece on the loose, which I have a feeling it's probably like right in front of me, and I'm just not seeing it. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. It's because it kind of looks weird, different from like a different angle in the manual. It's kind of hard to recognize. Okay. All right. I was getting a bit worried there, thinking that maybe I had left another piece on the runner. What's with those spam calls? Give me a break, will you? Hello? All right. Immediately done. Narrative Gundam getting an MG is wild, and thankfully we are getting it to round out the narrative movie. I mean, yeah, considering that the narrative Verka and the narrative version of the Phoenix did both get MGs, I mean, it's not that crazy. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's still something that I think most people were not expecting. It is kind of cool to have all those mobile suits from narrative to have MGs now, though, I think. Some people may agree or disagree, but that's fine. Okay. All right. Then the little claws for the forearm do actually have like a frame piece inside the yellow piece, so it's not just a yellow piece. There's a dark gray, it's like a dark gunmetal gray piece inside the claw. It's a pretty nice detail there for that. It's a little piece here on the back of the arm here as well. Fold that up. And the hand. We do actually have closed fists as well. Very nice. If I can figure out which one of these hand covers is for that. Here we go. And aside from the closed fists, we've got our holding hands, and then there's an open hand for the left side only. These are shoulder parts. I gotta skip ahead. I hope that means a reprint of the narrative Sinanju sign. I would say that's probably likely. But keep in mind that we don't know when the narrative Arcana is coming out yet. I think, as I mentioned in my video, if you guys saw it, then you heard me talk about this. But if you guys didn't see my coverage of those releases, you may have seen, I think, a lot of reporting on that online was saying that it's coming out in December. But if you look at what's actually on the text there at the show, there's like a little signboard in front of it that it says like December on it. So a lot of people were just thinking like, oh, it's coming in December. But what it says on there, it says that there's like the full story is coming in December. So that means like December is just when they're gonna have like the full announcement for it with like more details. So probably it's coming out, I don't know, like a March or something maybe. Could be sooner, but at least, I don't know about in Japan, but at least here in the US, last I knew, we, like here at USA Gundam Store, we've not gotten the order form for it yet. So like, typically, like when new releases are coming out, we get like an order form so that we can order from Bandai, you know, what we want of that. But without having even ordered it, I mean, it's gonna be hard for Bandai to be able to roll the kit out soon when they don't even have any orders for it yet from other stores. I mean, obviously stores are gonna order it, but that's something that they usually try to do, you know, with at least a little bit more time in advance. They can't like announce a kit and then have it be releasing like 1 month later without any orders for it yet. I feel like that would be very difficult. Okay, this is the second time in this manual so far that I've noticed this, where typically, let me see, let me grab a highlighter. There's a couple of spots, and I'll show this in the review, where, you know, okay, let me zoom. Normally it would show you like the 1 and the 2, like do this first and then do this. So that's why I have like the 1 and 2 there. But here, for example, on the shoulder armor, you put these pieces on the side, on the front and back, should go on there first, and then you put this piece from the top down over the top of that, and that kind of locks them in place there. I didn't do that. I put the piece on top first, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to get this in here. So I mean, like, if you can do it either way, then it really doesn't matter. But if it really only works doing it one particular way, then it kind of needs to say that in the manual. And yeah, it doesn't. So I'm going to highlight that so I can remember to show you guys in the menu, in the review. Here. And the other section was also in the leg. There was another part in the leg too that I, if you guys were watching earlier and like I couldn't get it. This part right here, also this part that drops down from the top should be down first before you put these in here on the side. So it's not very often that I feel like Bandai makes a mistake in their manual, but I definitely feel like, I don't think that that's something that I'm doing wrong. It definitely seems like that's something that should be done like in order, but according to the manual, Bandai doesn't have it going together in that order like that. So I'll definitely make a note of that in the review. The difficult thing now is that I'm gonna have a hard time getting this piece back off of the shoulder. And it's never fun with an RG kit either because of just how delicate the parts are, to be trying to force things apart. Yeah. Wow. Did I actually get that off without breaking anything? That's amazing. Okay. Very surprised. I was expecting to at least bend, if not break, like 1 or 2 of the little connection pegs on there, but managed to not break anything. It's pretty unbelievable, to be honest. Do this first, yeah. The icon with the circles means to do that heads up. What? Ah. Hmm. How did I not know that? And is that new? That's like not something that they've used in a lot of recent kits, I feel like, is it? Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, you're right about that. But it's just kind of weird that they don't use like the 1 and 2. Right? I mean, like that's what they normally use like for everything else. And I feel like, yeah, that symbol is one that they used to use a lot in older kits, but I feel like in a lot of kits recently they don't use yeah, they haven't used that kit in a lot of recent kits. They haven't used that symbol in a lot of recent kits, have they? I feel like I'm sorry. I feel like they've not been using that recently. So that's kind of weird. Anyway, okay, yeah, you guys are right. Thanks for pointing that out. But it is kind of weird, I will say. I have seen that in a lot of kits. Really? Okay. I feel like I've seen it all the time. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just typically like don't notice, or like maybe usually it's like not as important. Like you can still do it in that way or something. I don't know. But okay. Well, fair enough. I will still mention it in the review just because maybe there'll be other people like me who won't notice that, and just maybe to avoid anybody having issues, I will try to point that out. I'm going to take a short break. If you guys will excuse me for just a moment, I'll be right back. What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right. I like the name Epyon for MS. Yeah, what's the etymology. Is that the right word? I feel like that's what immediately came to mind, and I feel like it's right, but at the same time, I'm also feeling like that's completely wrong. Is etymology like the kind of origin of the word? Is that what that means? Or something entirely different? But yeah, what's the... I mean, it could be something that's completely made up, but I feel like it's not, especially for like how in Gundam Wing, especially like a lot of the we have like all the zodiac names, you know. Pisces, Leo, Cancer, all that. Mercurius, Fate. So not zodiac, but etymology is words. Entomology is bugs. Okay, there you go. So etymology, I was right. Is that right? That means I'm right? Quick Google search says Epyon can mean either next or the devil. Well, kind of both. In like the context of like the mobile suit in the series, they kind of both make sense of it, right? Like just based on kind of like the visual appearance of it, the kind of devil aspect kind of makes sense. And then also next isn't like kind of like the next evolution of like using the zero system and everything, right? So yeah. All right. No. All right. In Greek mythology, Epyone is the wife of Asclepius. Her name is derived from the word soothing. Is Asclepius also like similar to Esculapius, the Wing G-Unit mobile suit? It's similar enough anyway, right? Epyon, measurement of time that is consumed with pain and death. Ugh, interest. You guys are giving me all the meanings. My kids saw this on an interesting note about like the design of it. My kids saw this while I was working on it. Obviously, just like the box. I mean, not the kit because I don't have it built yet. But they saw the box at home like yesterday. I had it like just on the kitchen table, and I think it's my son or my daughter. One of them like was looking at it and asked me. They're like, "Is this Gundam evil?" And I just thought it was really interesting the fact that like just like based on the design, they just inferred that it was like an evil, bad, like antagonist Gundam, right? I mean, which makes sense. I mean, it kind of has that look. It's like this dark red color scheme and very spiky. It doesn't have like the same hero appearance of like the RX-72 or whatever. Just kind of your typical Gundam color scheme. But I thought that was interesting. So then I thought like it would be really interesting to take a design, like take a kit like this and like just by just changing the color scheme, maybe making like a few like modifications here and there, but you know, primarily just changing the color scheme, how much that would kind of change the look of it from not looking quite so like evil to, I don't know exactly kind of how you could make it look by just changing the color scheme essentially. But I thought I don't want to try that, but we'll see. I don't know. So what I'm saying is I would like to repaint it in like a different custom color scheme. Not necessarily like RX-72 colors, because I think that would be kind of cringy, but something I thought like what might look quite interesting on it is the like Zeta Plus C1, like the gray, like kind of very like utilitarian like aircraft kind of colors, like sort of gray with like white and blue accents on it. I think would look kind of cool. Either that Or I was just thinking like something else just came to mind and I immediately forgot. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's just go with that. Oh yeah, the ultimate color scheme of like tan with white and orange accents. The unfailing color scheme. The color scheme that literally works on any design. But I do like, just because of the fact that it has wings, I think going with the idea of something like the Zeta Plus C1, the gray Sentinel version of the Zeta Plus, I think a color scheme like that I think would look kind of interesting, just because it has wings, especially. And so kind of making it look, I guess at that point it would look sort of like an evil aircraft, kind of, sort of like a Starscream. What color is Starscream in the movies? I don't know. Like, I'm not that big of a Transformers fan to know about this, but like at least in like the Michael Bay movies, he's like mostly kind of like grayish, silverish color, right? I think, right? So kind of like that. I think could be interesting, right? Real color, like seeing all the red Barbatos looks kind of frightening. That all red new HG IBO kit, which is I guess not technically HG IBO. Anyway, the one that was like just announced. Can just camo it. I mean, camo is always good, but or it could do like I mean, if we're doing like Sentinel color scheme, could do like a Sentinel style sort of like what do you call it? Splinter camo. Yeah, like that. Could be kind of cool. Okay. So I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. The nice thing about RG kits is that they typically don't really have anything in the way of seam lines. So I mean, they're pretty easy to prep for painting. Just a little bit of sanding some mold lines here and there, and they're pretty much ready to go. So that's good. But they do, I mean, they do have a good amount of parts, right? And so, and a lot of little parts. So like the painting prep time is low, but the like parts management whilst painting time is high. If you guys follow what I mean. If you've painted a number of kits before, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, I would imagine. But yeah, it's like while you're in the midst of building, you spend a lot of time just like juggling parts and moving parts around and stuff like that, just because it has a lot of little parts everywhere that you kind of have to manage. Okay. There we go. Here we go. I'm gonna try not to forget anything. I feel like with a somewhat complex build like this, it's dangerous to get too overconfident and just start slapping it together. At least for me anyway. Just talking from experience for myself, to myself, just kind of as a reminder. Be careful what you're doing. It's not to forget anything. I build RGs when I want to punish my fingers for existing. Yeah. I think the last RG that I painted was the Sazabi. On that note, what is the... What's it called? Oh, fuck. What's the pitch accent for Sazabi? Is it Sazabi or Sazabi? Can someone answer that? I feel like it's like watching Char's counterattack in Japanese would probably be the best way to check. But I'm just wondering, like, based on like the proper Japanese pronunciation, is it Sazabi or Sazabi? Not sure. Okay. First syllable, Sazabi. Interesting. Okay. I think more often than not, I probably say Sazabi or Sazabi. Now I'm confused too. But never mind. Just forget about it, because I'm not going to sit here like trying to figure out which way I'm saying it, which was the correct way. Never mind. But that's getting too picky about pronunciation, I feel like. Does it even see? This is what happens. Now I'm like saying it in my mind and thinking like, wait a minute, in Japanese, is it a like double A sound at the front? I'm thinking like trying to imagine it in Japanese as Sajabi, but I don't think that's it. It doesn't have a long A at the beginning, right? It could just be like pronounced in that way, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna like mess myself up over it. Where is that piece? Okay, here we go. And this really teeny tiny piece. Oh no, that goes on here. I do really like the idea of repainting this in like a very utilitarian gray color scheme, though. I'm very tempted, but I have so much other stuff like on my plate right now in terms of like just not even painting projects, just kits to build and review and everything, and plus painting projects. So like that's the problem. It's like there's already so much like on the to-do list. Building a kit like this that makes me want to paint it, it's like that's the dilemma. Do I choose to put other things to the side in order to paint this kit that I suddenly feel the urge to paint and was not planning to do that at all? Or opt to not paint it right now and then probably never come back to it, because like you have to, it's one of those where like you have to strike while the iron's hot kind of thing, where just like knowing myself, I know like if I'm excited about it, I have to do it at that moment or I'm not going to come back to it, because it's just going to fall to the wayside. So what do you guys think? Never mind, don't answer that because I know what your answer is going to be. Bi colors would be great. What's that mean? I don't know what's bi colors. It's B-A-I, Blaze says. What is that? Yeah, even the way that the colors are separated on here, just because it's got that RG style color separation on the parts, I mean, it would lend itself really well to like just a two-tone gray. It's so tempting. Really want to repaint it. Do you like the build? Yeah, so far it's fun. I will say not as fun as the full mechanics Forbidden Gundam, just because that larger size is more comfortable for me with my large hands and fingers. RG, I mean, like, it's still a really cool build and a really nice build, but working with stuff this small is, you know, it's just slightly more uncomfortable for me. But it's not like it's difficult or, you know, hard to build or anything like that. My art teacher was like that. about like not wanting to start new projects kind of thing. Beam effect though is pretty cool. Look at that compared to the Gundam. It's like just slightly taller than the Gundam itself. Kind of got like all the backpack parts and parts for the beam saber all just kind of tossed in the mix here together. The only parts that I like separated out was the parts for the shield. Strangely. There's a couple of really little parts in here. I'm going to be very careful not to let them escape off my desk because they will be gone. Just going to put these together here real quick. Just try to ensure they're not going to run away somewhere. Okay, backpack. Okay, what? Yeah. Might as well put these parts out of here as well, so I can get this box out of the way. And I will also, I'm gonna skip a skip ahead to the shield here for a moment because it's only a few parts. Another nub that I missed. How could I be so foolish? Okay. All right. Goes like that, and this piece, no, this piece goes over the top of there, like that. Then this piece over the top of there, like this. And for these really like delicate and intricate parts though, I mean, I'm not looking forward to having to disassemble this kit though. That's kind of the only thing. It's not going to be fun to try to take this kit apart. Kind of one of those that I would almost recommend for you if you're wanting to paint it to not what? That's weird. Fuck. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, to not build it first, but normally I would. Normally I would say, yeah, build it first, and so you can familiarize yourself with the builds. Then when you go to paint, you'll have a better time. This is almost one of those ones where I kind of would not really recommend building it first because it's going to be a more difficult one to disassemble. RG Gelgoog, I would love it. Yeah, it would be really nice to have an RG Gelgoog. Whoa. Cannot wait to see all the... I guess it would be next year. Probably not going to see much this year, but next year's GBWC entries using this kit. Anyway, there's the heat saber. Okay, sword, shield, heat saber, combo. RG ball when? Yeah, I love the ball, but maybe not as exciting as RG Gelgoog would be pretty peak. RG Gelgoog would be fantastic. Yeah, ball really? No ball in the works at the moment that we know of. Okay. So do 2 of these. Okay. There's that. It's upside down. There we go. And voila. Okay. And then these, so like, yeah, this part especially is going to be, I feel like it's going to be a challenge taking this apart later. And it looks great once you put that together. It looks really, really good. It's gonna be a little bit dangerous though. RGGPO2 finished the 0083 line of Gundams. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It wouldn't really be the top of my list. Personally, I'm fine with not having a GPO2. We don't even have a GPO3, first of all, in the RG line, so I would rather have like a GPO3 more than anything. We would also need that if we're talking about like completing the 0083 GP series. But even more so than any of that, what we need is the RE line to come back with the GP00 Blossom. Rather, the Gerbera Tetra and GPO2, between the two, if I had to choose, Bandai came to me and said, here's your options for the next RG kit. Do you want the RG GPO2 or the RG Gerbera Tetra? I would say the Gerbera Tetra. Yes. Right wing. Not the ideology, but the actual part of the kit, I mean. Is that right? Why is that kind of like bent out like that? I feel like that's not supposed to be like that, and I feel like I've done something very wrong. Okay, there we go. Which one of you is correct? Should not have the vent on it. Okay, there we go. Like that. Favorite Kotobukiya kit? That is a tough question. I don't know. I don't even know how I could even attempt to answer that. Very difficult. Like, it would be somewhat easier to say like favorite Kotobukiya line of kits. In which case I would probably have to say Megami Device. But like favorite Kotobukiya kit overall, I mean, I don't know. That's tough. You're asking a lot of me. You're asking too much of me, I will say. Fold that in, pop this on right here, a little devil wing. This one here, no. Ah. All right, neat. Yeah, really cool design here for this. And I really wish I could have had the MG for comparison. That's, let's see, is it the correct part? No, I think it's not. Should be like this, with that part sticking out and this part facing this way. Okay. Very slight difference in the parts. I have to make sure to pay attention to. And that should be right. Right? Yeah, I think so. And on this side, this one should be right. Right? Yep. Okay. Got it. Have you already built the MG? No, yeah, as I was just saying, I've not built the MG, so I don't have that experience to compare it to, unfortunately. Always hated how the wings are on that kit. On this kit or on the MG, you mean? Because, I mean, look at that. Oh, they don't fold back in on their own too well, do they? When you expand it out, they do like that, which is pretty cool. Ooh. When you fold them back in, should go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, they go back in on their own. Yeah, what were you guys so worried about? Come on. Other wing. Gotta put this one on first this time. Okay. Then this one. Like that. And then, kind of very opposite for this side. Then this one. This one. Then this one. Close that up. And this one here. You guys smell that? It's almost done. All right. Do you think that the undergating on this kit is to encourage not to paint it? No. That's a good question, Eric. I was assuming it's more so just because Bandai is expecting to make a plated version at some point, probably like a Gundam base exclusive or something. Would be my thought as to why the most of the armor is undergated. But to your point, I mean, like, just to make it look better straight out of the box, I think you're probably right about that, because it's a dark plastic. I mean, like, it's pretty commonly known, I guess, that the dark plastic is more susceptible to like getting stress marks on it. So yeah, if Bandai's kind of worried about customers, you know, like especially like younger beginner modelers, and you know, like anybody who's just like kind of, if they're sort of new to modeling and maybe a bit worried about people complaining about the fact that the kit had a lot of visible nubs, gates on it, just because of the fact that there was a lot of like parts on the dark plastic. Yeah, it could have been something like that's part of the reason why they did a lot of undergating on it, just to kind of preempt people complaining about all the nub marks on it. Yeah, good point. Yeah. I just kind of assumed, kind of typical assumption, that it's just for the purposes of plating it. But yeah, I think in all likelihood, it's probably a combination of both. Yeah. Because then I'm sure we will see a plated version at some point. And with it all being undergated, I mean, it just looks better straight out of the box. Yeah, absolutely. There we have it. And for the beam saber, it's just a couple of little teeny parts there. Nothing really too much else for that. Got our little wire. which, oh, interesting. There is a very slight difference in the size here for this, eh? The holes are different. You have these little connection pieces, and the hole, like, is it? Anyway, it seems like it's very slightly different. This part clips and then flips onto there like that. Ah, okay. So this wire can be plugged into here, and this is just held in the hand. Where? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is just. Yeah, very interesting. Okay. This part flips open for holding onto the beam saber handle. Just clips onto that like that. So if I can show you guys, since this is the last part here. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you, Eric, for not wanting to paint. I mean, like, that's one of the main gimmicks of the RG line, is that they're kind of made to look really good straight out of the box without having painted anything. Like, here's an example here. You can see that little like white stress mark there. I already bent this part a little bit. I mean, it's not noticeable. Like, it's not bent, but I, like, while removing the nub, because it had like some nubs like right here at the very end. While doing that, I kind of bent this a bit, and it caused that stress mark there. So yeah, hopefully, ideally, I'll ultimately paint it anyway, so you won't notice. But this part here is the connection piece. This will open up, it folds open, and the wire connects into there like that. Should be kind of straight if I can. Here we go. Yeah, right? There we go. That connects into there, and then the other end obviously connects into the handle here for that. So yeah. Okay, there we go. There you have it. Yeah, it looks great. Very cool. Quite the complex and interesting build. I think a lot of that is just due to the transformation. If it didn't transform, I think there's some more pretty nasty stress on the backpack part there as well. If you look, if it wasn't for the transformation, it'd be interesting to see just like how different the construction would have been. But see right there in the center, it's kind of stressed those white marks right there a bit from pressing this backpack piece onto here. So yeah, you are gonna want to be a little bit careful with that. But yeah, looks pretty good for sure. Okay, how long did it took you to do the prep work for it? Mr. New, probably in total about 4 hours maybe. It's probably about right. 4, 5 hours. Yeah, probably about like that. Just kind of depends on how fast you're going. It also depends on how clean you want it, because like you'll see people saying that like that they built this kit in an hour, right? Or like, yeah, you could, but like the gates, like the nub marks on it are probably pretty bad. So like I try to get it to the level where like when it comes to like cleaning up the nubs on kits that I'm gonna do a review on, I try to get it to the level where it's not good enough to paint, because that would take more time. And so if I am gonna actually paint the kit, I'll have to go back and sand a lot more on some of these parts. But if I'm not planning to paint, I don't need it to be like super perfect, but I do try to make it so that they're not just like looking at the kit just to the naked eye, they're not noticeable as possible, as least noticeable as possible. That makes sense? Yeah. So like, yeah, you could just net build this in probably, like half the time or less than what I did, but it wouldn't look as good. I want it to look good, but at the same time, I don't need to spend that much time that I have to get it like perfect for like painting. Excuse me. All right, guys, I gotta run. Thanks for hanging out. Really cool build. Definitely check it out. I don't know offhand. Let's check. I believe it is still available for pre-order. Like if you're in the US and you would like to pre-order from USA Gundam Store, I believe the pre-order is still open. Yeah, it's not sold out yet. So yeah, you can. I don't know. I don't know if I've heard from Adam when we'll be getting them. We should be getting them, I think, probably sometime in the next couple weeks. I think maybe my estimation at the moment is maybe like 2 weeks. But you know, obviously don't quote me on that. But based on what I know at the moment. But I would say, yeah, if you do want to pick one up, if you're not pre-ordered one, you can do that. If you guys want to wait for the review, I will have the review. I'll try to have the review for you guys like Monday night. So when I come in on Monday morning, I'll get the review all recorded and then like edited, and then I'll try to have it posted so that it can go up on YouTube Monday night. That's what I'll aim for. So look out for that if you guys want to, you know, check the review out before pre-ordering, if that's what you're kind of like still on the fence about it. But I would say it's very cool. If you're a fan of RG kits and you're a fan of the Epyon, then you will definitely like it. If you're a big fan of the Epyon but not really into RG kits because you don't like a lot of like small little detail, like a small little intricate parts, you may not like it that much. But it just kind of depends on how much of an Epyon fan you are. And then kind of like the same point the other way around. If you're a big fan of if you're a big fan of RG, but just kind of like not totally sure on the design of the Epyon, I'm not sure if this kit will necessarily change your mind about the Epyon's design, about liking it more just from building the kit. But I don't know. If you really enjoy building RG kits, then I think it is definitely one that's a pretty unique build. So if you don't like painting, get this. I mean, that pretty much goes for like all RG kits. Like I was saying, like the RG line is pretty specifically made to look as good as possible just directly out of the box without any painting done on it. I mean, like that's like pretty much like a stated principle of the RG line. So I mean, yeah, definitely would agree with that for sure. But yeah, hopefully I will have the RG, hopefully I will have the MG on Monday to be able to compare them in the review. Like I said, I'm going to try to remind Adam, and hopefully he'll also remember to bring the MG. He says he has a built MG at home. I do not. So hopefully I'll be able to show that to you guys in the review on Monday. And hopefully it's not like falling apart, but at least so I can show you guys like side by side. Okay, this build has convinced me to get it. Thanks, my wallet hates you. Yeah, sorry, Grim. I hear that a lot. Often inflicting pain on people's wallets, but sorry about it. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna head out, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. What's the video today? I'm gonna try. I'm not certain that the video will be up tonight. More likely, it'll probably be up tomorrow. But the next video is going to be talking all about the RE100 line. So if you guys are interested, I think it's a pretty good video. It's pretty interesting if you guys are into RE100 or just like kind of, I don't know, Gunpla in general. Hopefully you guys like it. Anyway, that video will more than likely be up tomorrow, but maybe tonight. But we'll see. And then the MOOC review for this weekend, if you guys don't know, I try to like every weekend or around there have a new MOOC review out for you guys, taking a look at a new book, and it's also a pretty cool book this weekend as well. So look out for both of those videos over the weekend, and then this review at the start of next week. See you guys then. Sorry, Jeff. Yeah, just missing it, but check the replay if you want, or watch the review on Monday. But it's a cool build. It was TLDR. But see you guys. Have a great weekend. Yeah, Thanksgiving in Canada. Is that right? Okay. That's cool. Yeah, if you're Canadian, happy birthday. Happy Thanksgiving. And okay. Yeah, we're good. See you guys. Bye.